Alright, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze is out on the Nintendo Switch. But is $60 a fair price for a game that's 47 years old? Well, if you ask my smelly ass, it is. My smelly ass's name is Carl, and he'll tell you why. A lot of people are upset at Nintendo for porting so many of their last-gen games onto the Switch at full price. Especially my dad, who was one of 37 people who actually owned a Wii U when it was a thing. And due to the fact that the entire library of Nintendo's last-gen consoles being re-released on the Switch, the general consensus is that it's as if Nintendo's giving the middle finger to everybody who bought a Wii U. But if you're one of the 2 people who owned a Wii U but somehow not a Switch like my dumbass dad, then I could kinda see why you'd be upset. But still, at least you got to play all these amazing games a few years before everybody else. And just because the Switch quadrupled the Wii U sales within 5 minutes of its release, doesn't mean that N-Dog's flipping the bird to anybody who bought a Wii U. Wait, what is this? They took Tropical Freeze off the Wii U's eShop? Okay, now Nintendo's flipping some major birdage to the Wii U owners. I mean, Jesus, Nintendo, are you really taking Tropical Freeze off the Wii U eShop just because it's a little cheaper? That just makes you look like a bitch. In fact, I honestly don't even think it helps Nintendo at all. Not only that, but I take this as Nintendo admitting that Tropical Freeze really doesn't have anything extra added to it. Otherwise, they'd feel confident about the Switch version coexisting alongside it. There's no way taking Tropical Freeze off the Wii U's eShop even prevents one Switch sale despite the game being $40 cheaper. I mean, nobody owns a Wii U to begin with. Plus, Kmart and Caldors are still selling the physical Nintendo Selects version of Tropical Freeze for $20. So Nintendo just looks like a bunch of dicks. I mean, they didn't take Mario Kart 8 off the Wii U's eShop just because it was cheaper. I mean, I know it didn't have any of the DLC or... Wait, a digital copy of Mario Kart 8 still $60 on the Wii U? Well, that's fucked. Anyway, I understand Nintendo's a business, but it makes more business sense not to be dicks. I doubt anyone's boycotting the above-average size den over the Tropical Freeze Wii U eShop nutshot, since there probably isn't even one person out there who wants Tropical Freeze digitally on the Wii U who hasn't gotten it already. But just because Nintendo's peeing in the eyes of the Wii U owners, doesn't necessarily make the Switch versions of these games costing $60 a ripoff. Developers worked really hard on those games, so it'd not only be a shame if more people didn't get to play them, but those developers have kids to feed, you know? It's not like the Wii U failed because the game sucked. Because the games were actually awesome. In fact, I don't even think it's the worst Nintendo home console as far as game quality is concerned. But imagine working your ass off on a game that a lot of people wanted to play but couldn't. And as a result, all that hard work you put in was for nothing. Well, okay, not for nothing, but a lot of these games should have sold much more than they did. And the fact that Bayonetta 2 already sold more Switch copies than its original Wii U version in 3 months just goes to show why it's a good idea to port games over to the Switch. And that it doesn't hurt at full retail price. We're so used to old games being re-released at lower prices because 99% of the time, people already played those games. Re-releasing an old game at full price that everybody's already played probably wouldn't sell very well without a few upgrades. Plus, the developers already made most of their money off those games anyway, so it makes sense that most ports are cheaper, but it's not the same from the Wii U to the Switch. Because in most cases, Nintendo's not asking people to replay these games, they're trying to get them to play it for the first time. Not to mention that all these versions are portable on top of that. I mean, why do you think they call them ports after all?
Ooh, Cameron, fuck you! That's not funny! Why would you joke about that? That's not what a port means! My wife was killed by a Wii U port!
Shane, what the frig are you doing to my video? I would never interrupt one of yours. Now be gone with you, vile woman. Anyway, in addition to portability, the Wii U ports on the Switch up until this point had some goodies added in to make them more worthwhile, with the exception of Tropical Freeze being that there's no new content. And shut your butt, Funky Kong is not good extra content. It's just an easy mode. That'd be like calling the North American Mega Man 2 on the NES the definitive enhanced HD remake of Knuckles just cause that had an easy mode. So why should Tropical Freeze get the pass? Before now, every Nintendo published Wii U port had some pretty cool enhancements on the Switch. With the exception of Breath of the Wild, I suppose, but those games came out at the same time, so you knew what you were getting into if you chose the Wii U version. And if you look a little closely, you can tell the graphics are an ass hair better on the Switch. But after Batua, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe had all the DLC from the Wii U version and a battle mode that actually worked, with new amiibo compatibility as well. Plus, Pokken Tournament and new fighters. And while Bayonetta 2 doesn't really have anything new, it does run more smoothly on the Switch and includes the first game as well. It is bullshit though that the rest of the world didn't get a physical copy of the bonus Bayonetta 1 like Japan did. But whatever. Nintendo's not the only company to port games to next-gen consoles at full price anyway. Remember when Rockstar did it with GTA 5? There were enhancements, sure, but the same could be said for most Wii U ports. Plus, GTA 5 sold an assload of copies on the Xbox One and PS4, and the same could be said for the Wii U ports on the Switch as well. So can we really blame a business for trying to make money? Well, when the ports start getting lazy, then it's hard not to. Don't get me wrong though, Tropical Freeze is still a great game. One of my favorites ever, honestly. It really is that damn good. But on top of the Wii U eShop debacle and the fact that most other ports on the Switch have much better added content, there is the fact that Donkey Kong Country Returns had 8 new bonus stages added to the 3DS port. port. So it kinda comes off as Nintendo being lazy and not caring enough to go the extra mile. But whatever, at least we got Funky Kong, right? Huh? Huh? Ah, you don't care. Regardless of Nintendo slipping, though, Tropical Freeze on the Nintendo Switch is still easily worth $60 for portability and improved resolution, even if there aren't any other updates. And the best part is that even if you completely disagree with Wii U ports costing $60 on the Switch, then all you gotta do is not buy any of them. Nintendo's not wasting any resources porting Wii U games over to the Switch since it can't possibly take that long, even with the extra content. And seeing as how they always sell like McDonald's hotcakes, which I didn't really know sold that well, it means that most people agree with me. So I protest these games that have been proven to be good stopgaps, plugging holes between the releases of original Switch content, but I know how it must sound hearing me defend Nintendo for not hooking us up. So to prove that I'm not a fanboy just blindly sticking up for the end that is big, I'll say right here and now that I know the programmer and creator of Zelda, Reggie Fils-Aimé, is watching this video. So listen up, Reggie-san. You'd better not be as lazy with the Hyrule Warriors port to the Switch as Retro was with Tropical Freeze. It better come with all the DLC from the Wii U and 3DS versions of the game, as well as new costumes for Link and Zelda based on their appearances in The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. If not, I'm gonna take that game,
turn that sumbitch sideways, and stick it straight up. You can do it!
So when you guys and gals see all those extra features added to the definitive version of Hyrule Warriors on the Switch, just remember that it's only because of what I said just now and that this channel heavily influences Nintendo. What do you think, though? Are Wii U ports on the Switch overpriced? Do you think they're fair? Do you think I'm a dick for saying Funky Kong's lame bonus content? Let me know what you think in the comments below, and as always, I'll pin whatever I find most entertaining. Don't forget to like and share this video if you want to help this channel grow. It'd make me rock hard if you support us on Patreon for as high as $100,000 a month. And if you're a germaphobe who sailed the 7 seas, then I'm begging you to press the subscribe button. If not, then press it anyway. My name's Cameron, and I'll see you next time.
So I want to say thank you to your loyalty. Thank you for your support.